Okay, I got another superhero I want you to meet. Man, Ryan Wise. He's a filmmaker out in Los Angeles. A young fella he works with, the fella's like only 30 years old, got brain cancer. Doesn't look like his friend, who's Joe Northrop, had very long to live. But, you know, Ryan is a hero. He's went on the web and he's raising $100,000 for him and his family to cope with all the unpaid healthcare bills they're going to have, because the insurance companies don't pay for anything. Actually, the insurance companies fight them all this every step of the way. My cape's falling off. That's with me. I'm not a hero. Ryan is. The cape knows I'm not a hero and is getting rid of me. So that's what's important. Here's a friend, Ryan, who took it upon himself to go out and help solve Joe's problem. I mean, Ryan doesn't have a lot of money himself. He's, to me, he's a young man too. Everybody is to me, getting through life. But he's taking the time from his life to solve that problem. And that's why Ryan's a superhero. And this is what I'm trying to encourage other people. Man, we see problems in front of us all the time. Now, what we have to do is find a way to stop our lives and solve that problem. Don't leave it for somebody else in society to do it. You could do it. And see, there's ways on the internet to do this. And that's what's great. You have the tools right in front of you now to solve problems that you see that are right in front of you. Just don't, say, somebody else will do it, or I can't do it, or things like that. You can. Okay? So watch how Ryan did it. Ryan Wise, I really think what you're doing is really comparable to being a superhero in our lives, and helping your friend and workmate, Joe Northrop, who got cancer, the brain cancer, and who knows what's up for his life. So tell us a story. When did this start happening to Joe?
About 6 years ago, he started getting a tingling sensation, and he thought it was like a pinched nerve, and then he didn't think anything of it, and then his girlfriend said, you need to go to the hospital, and then they found out that he had brain cancer, and so they did a biopsy, and then they found out that he needed another surgery. So then I think a year later, they had a surgery, took it out, and then did chemo, and then it was going good, and then it came back again, even worse, grade 4, which is the worst cancer.
Right.
So he had another surgery, took that out, and then they did radiation, which you can only do one time, really, and that was really hard on him. And then it was all good, and everything was looking good. And then this last May, it came back even worse than the worst cancer. It was on his brainstem, which you can't operate on because you'll just be like a vegetable at the best case scenario. So now he has inoperable brain cancer, so he can't even do anything. So they can't do surgery without killing him. So they did radiation on the brain stem because it was a different side of his brain. Really, really intense, hard radiation, and then he's doing a bunch of chemo and just still fighting. The doctors gave him 2 months to a year to live, just like May. So.
And he has a newborn child? Like how many months?
Yeah, he just got married, and then he has a new baby, the cutest thing ever, and she's like 10 months old now, and he's only like, in his early 30s. He's just a young kid, so.
Wow.
So he's got a wife, a child, 7-year-old. His prognosis is 2 months to a year. And mom now is going to be stuck with a bunch of bills too.
Yeah, his wife is going to be stuck with the bills, so. Before I did a little short documentary on Joe the first time he had brain cancer. So, and then on Vimeo, Vimeo.com, the video service thing, they started having like a tip jar thing where you could tip.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
You can tip the video. So I go, Joe, what if we start? I'll put it in your name and it'll go to you, and then people can tip. So.
But now you're also on Give Forward, right?
Yeah. So then one of his friends suggested Give Forward to do that because that's really specific to
Right.
medical needs and
Right.
stuff like that. And it's set up really well. And
How long did it take you to set up the site?
it's pretty easy. It's really easy to set up.
I mean, like
Probably
half
like
hour, 10?
yeah, like half an hour. You added some pictures, added some videos, put the story out, and then just kind of put it on Facebook and wherever I could, emailed it out and stuff, and told other people to share it, and then
Well, I see you got almost $14,000 or over that already, but you're after 100. I mean, she needs $100,000. I mean, our healthcare system is, no matter if even if you're covered, you're still going to owe 100 grand or something like that. And it's just nuts. And obviously they can't.
they don't want to pay it. The health insurance companies don't want to pay it. They'll try not to pay stuff. So it's like they're always fighting.
You're fighting to stay alive, and you have to fight these bureaucrats.
Yeah, exactly. So it's real hard. And his wife's a teacher and stuff, and luckily she's on spring break and able to help, but still, it's really tough with it.
Yeah, spring break is over soon.
Summer break. So exactly. So she's having a hard time dealing with everything, but they're staying strong and trying to help them out with some medical expenses and stuff.
Wow. Well, we all can do that, I think. And that's what's so neat about what you do is that you're stopping your life and helping somebody that obviously needs a lot of help. I mean, and millions of people walk by, every day and just say, oh, I'm sorry, and give their condolences, but we can do so much more, in life. And that's what you're showing. I think Joe being a fighter and showing how he's coping with this disaster that's hit his life and his wife, that you're showing how to be an incredible citizen in my mind. That just trying to do everything possible and trying to raise $100,000. I mean, that's what's neat about technology today. Who could do that? You couldn't do that 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really cool because Joe, he doesn't really look at computer screens anymore and TV very much because it's hard. He can't concentrate and it's hard it kind of hurts him. So he kind of knew I set it up, but then later on, like after a month of it, he actually started looking at it and looked at all the comments and and he didn't know how much people pledged or whatever.
Yeah.
And just seeing the comments and seeing that everybody put money into it made him keep fighting, and it was really cool to see.
Wow.
He's it meant a lot to him that everybody cared and people that he didn't even know, were donating money. I mean, that helped more than the money, I think. Just the thought of people
that's interesting
doing that. So it was really cool to,
So even if you don't want to give, I mean, you go to the site, giveforward.com, and search Joe Northrup, right? And leave Joe a note to make him stronger for fighting what he has to, because I'm sure he's fighting real hard for that little sweet baby he's got.
Yeah, she's a cutie. She doesn't want, Yeah, he's fighting. He's fighting hard. He's not giving up. I mean, sometimes he wants to, but just the Give Forward page, encourages him to it helps him keep going because he wants to give up sometimes because it's so hard on him.
I don't know if I'd be as weak. I'd be looking at pulling the plug, and it's easy. And that's why with you, I mean, you have somebody out there raising money for me. I mean, somebody wants to help me get $100,000. So that has to be an inspiration too. So Ryan, I think what you're doing is great, and I wish more people were like you in the world. That's the world I want to live in, with lots of Ryans around. And people are helping friends like Joe, and Joe needs the help. And I hope people go to giveforward.com, search Joe Northrup, right? And give what you can. And even if you don't give, just send Joe a note and best wishes to everything, and keep fighting. Well, thanks for you being around, Ryan, and fighting for Joe. We need you too. Okay. Well, and you're a sweet man. I mean, even if you're not sweet, you could still solve problems like Ryan did. And if you do, I'll send you a super cape, a superhero cape. I'm going to send one to Ryan right now. Okay.